Good evening. I'm glad you've joined me tonight. Before we begin, take a moment to settle in. Find a comfortable position, let your shoulders soften, and allow your breath to slow. The day is behind you now. All that matters is this quiet moment. Tonight I'll be here with you, guiding your mind gently into rest. My name is Jonathan Holly, and together we'll drift into a world of mystery, calm, and sleep. You don't need to think or solve or do anything at all. Just let my voice carry you deeper into stillness. Now, let's begin our mystery story for tonight. A Dead Man's Telegram. Ext, New York City, night 1903. A dense fog swallows the cobblestone streets. Horse carriages creak through the mist. Gas lamps flicker weakly, their light trembling in the chill. Somewhere, a distant clock tower strikes 12. Its echo ripples through the emptiness. Ent. Telegraph office, Bleecker Street. Same night. A narrow room filled with the hum of electricity. Wires coil like veins across the walls. The only sound, the sharp, nervous click-click of a telegraph machine. Henry Wells, mid-30s, sits alone at the desk. His vest is wrinkled, tie loosened, eyes rimmed red. He looks like he hasn't slept in days. A mug of cold coffee sits beside the type pad. A faded photograph peeks from under it. A woman, smiling faintly, holding a letter. Henry leans in. The telegraph jolts again. Click, 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 click. He translates each pulse into letters. His brow furrows. He repeats the line aloud, under his breath. Henry, softly, no sender, no location. Message reads, he stops. His hands freeze mid-air. The words stare back at him from the paper roll. Telegram text. Stop waiting. I am already dead. M. A chill moves through the room. Henry swallows hard, checks the dial. No signature, no frequency origin. Nothing but static whispering and reply. He rips off the strip and studies it closer. Ink slightly smudged as if aged. He looks at the wall clock. 12:07 a.m. Henry, to himself, that's impossible. He opens the office ledger, flips through incoming messages. The previous telegram was logged at 10:30. This one, no record. The machine buzzes again, suddenly. Henry jerks back. Another line prints in jagged rhythm. Telegram text. Do not ignore this message. You know who I am. Henry's throat tightens. He looks at the photograph again. The woman's eyes seem to glint under the lamp. Henry, barely whispering, Mary? The telegraph falls silent. Only the hum of the wires remains. A carriage rattles past outside. The sound fades into the night. Henry reaches for his coat. Something's wrong. He knows this message shouldn't exist. Not from her, not after what happened 6 months ago. He folds the telegram carefully, tucks it into his breast pocket, and blows out the gas lamp. Cut to black. A faint echo lingers. The sound of the telegraph clicking. Slow, deliberate, almost like a heartbeat. Ext. Bleecker Street, night. Henry steps out into the cold fog. The lamps glow like dying fireflies. His shoes echo off the wet stone, every step heavy. The telegram burns in his pocket, its message replaying in his mind like a curse. He passes by shuttered bakeries, silent tenements, and the distant clang of the midnight trolley. The city feels hollow tonight. Even the dogs don't bark. INT. Boarding house, Henry's room, moments later, a small, dimly lit space, walls lined with old newspapers and ledgers. A gramophone hums, faint, static. Henry throws his coat on the chair and locks the door. He sits at his desk, unfolds the telegram once more. The ink seems darker, now almost bleeding through the paper. He pulls out another note. A death certificate? Dated April 18th, 1903. Name, Mary Elridge. Cause, drowning, East River. Henry, quietly, to himself. They never found your body. He runs his fingers through his hair, trembling. The telegraph office. This static. It had the same faint buzz she once joked sounded like music. He remembers her laughter, the scent of lilacs that always lingered after she left. Then the sound of sirens that night, the shouts from the riverbank, and the way the moonlight danced on the water as they pulled nothing but her scarf. A sudden knock at the door. Henry freezes. Voice off. Telegram delivery for Mr. Henry Wells. Henry blinks. He wasn't expecting any. He opens the door. No one is there. Only a small yellow envelope on the floor. No footsteps in the hallway. No sound at all. He tears it open. Inside, a folded telegram slip. Telegram text. You should have let me go. Henry stumbles backward, chair scraping the floor. His breath comes shallow, rapid. He flips the slip. There's a faint watermark, Western Union. Stamped date, April 18th, 1903. He looks again. That's the day Mary died. His hands shake violently. He grabs the lamp and holds it to the paper. The ink glows faintly, like phosphor, like a thing still alive. He mutters under his breath, No, this must be a trick, some cruel imitation. But then a scent fills the air. Lilacs. Soft, faint, impossible. Henry turns slowly. The mirror above the washstand fogs up. A handprint appears delicate, slender, and written beneath it, 3 words. I remember everything. Henry's heartbeat drowns out the silence. The clock ticks once, then stops. Cut to black. Int. Bleecker Street Telegraph Office morning. A gray dawn filters through grimy windows. The hum of machines fills the air again, normal, steady, alive. Clerks shuffle in, yawning, lighting their cigarettes. Henry stands near the telegraph board, pale and sleepless. The others don't notice how his hands tremble. M.R. Lyle, the supervisor, adjusts his spectacles. He's a man carved out of paperwork and cigar smoke. He glances at Henry. M.R. Lyle, you look like you've seen the Reaper himself, Wells. Henry, quietly, maybe I have. Lyle chuckles, slapping the counter. Well, if he's sending telegrams now, we'll charge him by the word. Henry forces a smile. His eyes dart toward the machine in the corner, the one marked Line 4B, decommissioned. He swears it was the same one that clicked last night. He walks over, tracing the wires. They end abruptly cut clean, sealed off with wax. No way it could have sent anything. Henry, to himself, then where did it come from? He opens the logbook. Flips to the last recorded entry under line 4B. The date April 18th, 1903. His finger stops. The name of the last operator, Mary Elridge. He exhales sharply. Every rational part of his mind starts collapsing in on itself. INT. City Records Archive afternoon. Dust dances in the shafts of sunlight. Shelves stretch endlessly, filled with ledgers and death files. Henry signs in, muttering something about equipment verification. The clerk barely looks up. He searches the death register. There she is again, Mary Elridge, 24. But something new catches his eye. A small annotation beside the coroner's report. Body unidentified. Personal effects 1 telegram device key, 1 ring. Henry frowns. A telegram key? He had given her his own spare key once, engraved with an H. He flips to the evidence file reference number. The slip says the items were claimed 2 days later by an associate. No name listed. Just a signature, a simple looping initial. Henry's pulse quickens. He pockets the slip and walks out fast. Rain begins to fall, soft and cold. The city seems to watch him from its lamplit alleys. Ent. Telegraph office night. Henry sneaks in after hours. Lyle's voice echoes faintly from upstairs, leaving for the bar. Henry approaches the decommissioned telegraph. Line 4B. He runs a hand over it, wipes off the dust. Henry, softly. Mary, if you can hear me. The machine clicks once, then twice, then stops. A pause. Then a single line prints out on yellow paper. Telegram text. I never left room 12. Henry's breath fogs the air. He looks toward the back hallway. The door to room 1-2, a door sealed for 6 months, stands slightly open. Cut to black. Ent. Bleecker Street Telegraph Office. Night. Rain needles the windows. A single gas lamp sways, its flame throwing nervous shadows. The building is empty, except for Henry Wells. He stands before the corridor that leads to room 12. The door yawns open a few inches, breathing cold air. He grips a lantern. The hinges creak as he pushes the door wider. And room 1-2 continuous. Dust covers everything like ash. Coiled wires lie in heaps, forgotten. A broken clock on the wall forever points to 12:07, the same minute the telegram arrived last night. A faint hum leaks from somewhere inside. Henry raises his lantern, and the light catches a telegraph set on the far desk, its brass polished, untouched by dust. Henry whispers, "This line's been dead for months." He crosses the floor. Each board moans underfoot. The air smells faintly of lilacs, again impossible, but undeniable. The machine clicks once. Henry flinches. Another click, then a slow, deliberate rhythm. Telegram text. You found me. Henry's throat tightens. He runs his fingers across the metal. It's cold, too cold, like touching winter itself. He searches the room for any connection. No power, no wires leading in or out. Only the single copper key beside the machine, engraved with the letter H. His breath stumbles. He had lost that key the night Mary vanished. Henry, hoarse, how did you get this? The lamp flickers. For a moment he sees movement in the reflection of the brass, a woman's silhouette standing behind him. When he turns, nothing. He steps closer to the window. Rain streaks down the glass like tears. Below, the street is empty. The telegraph clicks again, faster now. Telegram text. Why did you let me drown? Henry stumbles back. Memories flash. Her laughter on the pier, his promise to meet her after the late shift, the storm that came early. He'd been delayed by one message, one meaningless message that cost a life. He grips the edge of the desk, trembling. Henry, pleading, I tried. I went back for you. The machine falls silent, then types one final line. Telegram text. Prove IT. The lamp extinguishes itself. Darkness folds around him like a curtain. A single spark glows from the telegraph, then fades to black. Cut to black. Room. Int. Room 12. Later that night. Rain mutters against the window panes. Henry strikes a match. The flame trembles, hungry. He sets the lamp alight again. The telegraph lies silent now, innocent, as though it never spoke. He kneels, running a hand across the warped wooden floor. Something about the planks feels uneven, a hollow thud when tapped. He fetches a small screwdriver from the desk drawer. Henry, to himself, "What are you hiding from me, Mary?" He pries the first board loose. Dust swirls up like ghosts in lamplight. Beneath it, wrapped in oilcloth, lies a small tin box, the kind used for telegram rolls. A padlock holds it shut, rusted but sturdy. Henry smashes it open with the lamp base. Inside letters folded carefully, bound with a ribbon. The ink has bled from time and moisture, but one envelope stands out, dry and perfect. He lifts it. The handwriting curls delicately to Henry. His breath catches. He breaks the seal. Inside, a single sheet yellowed but legible. He reads aloud in a whisper voice shaking greater than, "If you're reading this, I'm already gone. I've seen what you hid beneath the pier. It wasn't an accident, Henry, and if the river takes me, it won't take the truth." He stares at the words, numb. His hands tremble until the page almost tears. Henry, no, that's not. She didn't understand. He flips the letter, searching for more. On the back, written faintly in pencil, Room 12 knows. Listen after midnight. The lamp flickers again. Somewhere beneath the floorboards, a faint ticking begins, soft, rhythmic, metallic. Not a clock, more like a telegraph key tapping from underneath. Henry lowers his ear to the gap. Tap, 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 tap. He translates it automatically. Old habits never die. Morse code, stay. His heart nearly stops. He slams the board shut, steps back, breathing hard. The sound continues, muffled now, persistent. Tap, 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 tap. He grabs his coat and stumbles out of Room 12. The hallway stretches longer than before, shadows leaning toward him like living things. Ent. Stairwell continuous. Water drips from the ceiling. He clutches the railing, descending. Every landing seems to hum with static. Ext. Bleecker Street, moments later. The rain has turned to mist. Gaslight halos blur the world into dream. Henry runs toward the river. He can almost hear her voice carried in the wind, greater than, "You should have let me go." He stops at the edge of the East River, where the pier once stood before the fire. The charred remains jut out like broken bones. The water glows faintly under the moon. Something glimmers between the planks, a brass key. He kneels, fishes it out. It's engraved with an M, the same style as his. A matching pair. Henry whispers, "So you kept yours too." Behind him, thunder murmurs. He pockets the key. The camera pulls back. Henry a lone figure against the city's restless dark. Cut to black. Ext. Bleecker Street, early morning. Mist clings to cobblestones. Henry walks briskly, coat collar turned up. Gas lamps flicker weakly through the haze. His fingers tighten around Mary's key. It feels heavier than brass, like it carries memory, guilt, and warning all at once. Int. Western Union Office Front Desk Morning. The office smells of paper, ink, and varnish. Telegraph machines click and hum in the background. Clerks move like ghosts along the narrow aisles. Henry approaches the counter. Henry, good morning. I need information about a telegram sent on April 18th, 1903. Line 4B. Clerk, eyes narrowing. That line was decommissioned months ago, sir. And that date? You're looking for records over 6 months old. Henry nods, trying to mask urgency. Please, it's important. A personal matter. The clerk studies him. Finally, he slides a note across the counter. Room 12, he murmurs. Henry freezes. Room 12? The clerk nods. You might want to speak to Mr. Beckett. He was assigned to that line. Lives uptown. Lives alone. Strange fellow. Ext. Uptown New York. Late morning. Henry's cab rattles along slick streets. The fog grows thinner, but the chill bites deeper. He arrives at a brownstone, carved numbers worn away by time. The air smells of coal and wet brick. He knocks. No answer. The door creaks open. He's unlatched. Inside, the hallway smells of dust and old paper. Int. Brownstone hallway, continuous. Shadows stretch along the walls. A telegraph hum grows louder. He follows it up a narrow staircase. The second-floor door reads, M. Beckett. Henry knocks. A raspy voice answers. Beckett, come in if you dare. Int. Beckett's apartment, D.A.Y. The room is cramped. Wires hang from the ceiling like vines. Telegraphs sit on every surface, humming quietly. Bookshelves overflow with ledgers, maps, and clippings of accidents, drownings, and telegram records. Beckett, a tall man with gray eyes sharp as daggers, sits behind a desk. Beckett, you've been chasing shadows, Mr. Wells, but the shadows have a source. Henry exhales sharply, clutching Mary's key. You sent it, he accuses quietly. Beckett leans back, eyes piercing. Beckett, sent what? The telegram? I merely maintain lines. I observe. Not all messages come from the living Mr. Wells. Not all messages stop when life does. Henry trembles. What do you mean? Beckett gestures toward a corner. A large telegraph machine, untouched by dust, hums faintly. Copper wires coil around it like snakes. Beckett, that device, belonged to her, and something in her refused to vanish completely. Henry swallows. He glances at Mary's key. Beckett's gaze follows. A long silence stretches, punctuated only by the faint clicking of the machines. Beckett, some messages demand answers. Even from beyond the grave, thunder rumbles. The room flickers with lamplight. Henry realizes the chase has only begun. Cut to black, Ext. East River night. The water churns under the fogged moon. Henry stands on the pier, coat soaked from the drizzle. The wooden boards creak beneath his boots. The air smells of brine and coal smoke. A faint metallic hum rises from below. He leans over the edge. Ripples break the reflection of the gaslights, distorting the city into molten shapes. Henry, whispering, "It can't be." From the shadows, a small raft bobs. On it an old telegraph machine, waterlogged but functional. Its brass keys glint under the moon. A single message scroll unspools, slowly wet and curling. Henry, voice trembling. "Mary?" He grabs the scroll with gloves, unrolling it carefully. Telegram text. "The river remembers. Look for the red lantern." Henry freezes. He looks around. Mist swirls, concealing shapes. A faint red glow emerges from the far side of the pier, swaying like a lonely eye in the fog. Ext, P-I-E-R, continuous. Henry hurries toward the lantern. The boards groan under his weight. Every shadow seems to shift, reaching. The lantern hangs from a post at the water's edge. Beneath it a box, weathered, tied with rope. He kneels, lifts the lid. Inside, a journal. Leather-bound, soaked in river water, but intact. He opens it carefully. The first page. Mary's handwriting, elegant and precise. "If you read this, Henry, know that the river has kept my secret. The telegram you received. It was never meant to frighten you. It was a warning." Henry flips to the next page. The ink has run in streaks, but a diagram is visible. A crude map of the pier, marked with symbols in a small hidden compartment. Suddenly a splash. Henry spins. The water churns violently. A figure emerges half submerged, cloaked in shadows. Henry, heart racing. Who's there?" No answer. Just a ripple that glimmers faintly like copper underwater. The telegraph key on the raft clicks once, then twice. Henry stares, understanding dawning. The messages, the keys. Mary left more than warnings. She left instructions. A whisper floats in the mist, barely audible. "Follow me, Henry. If you want the truth." Henry swallows hard. He grabs the journal, steps onto the raft. The current tugs at him. The water hisses like a serpent. The city lights blur, turning into molten streaks. The river seems alive, watching, guiding. Next, East River night. The raft drifts gently under the red lantern's glow. Mist clings to Henry like a second skin. The city behind him is a blur of gaslight and shadow. His fingers clutch the waterlogged journal tightly. Every heartbeat thrums in his ears. Henry, whispering to himself, "Where did you hide it, Mary?" He kneels on the raft, studying the map she drew. It points to a small gap in the pier, nearly invisible. A hidden compartment beneath a loose board. Henry pries at the planks. The wood groans, reluctant. With a final shove, a small square panel pops open. Inside a box carved from dark oak lined with velvet. Dust and river silt coat its surface. He lifts the lid. Inside, a bundle of papers, a small locket, and a brass key identical to the one he found on the pier. The locket swings open to reveal a tiny photograph Mary, smiling faintly, eyes glinting with mischief. Beneath it, a folded note. Henry, voice shaking. "Mary, what have you done?" He unfolds the note. "Henry, the telegrams are only the beginning. Someone wanted me gone. Someone still watches the lines. Trust no one. Start with the Western Union ledger. The answers are in the ink." Henry's hands tremble as he reads. A sudden noise, a splash against the pier. He spins. The water ripples, but no one is there. Henry, who's out there? Only the echo of distant bells and water lapping. Henry lifts the locket, examining the photograph again. Something about it unnerves him. A tiny mark etched into the corner of the photo a symbol he recognizes from Beckett's office. He slides the brass key into his pocket. The journal, locket, and papers follow. The compartment seals back with a soft click, as if nothing had been disturbed. Xed, P-I-E-R-N-I-G-H-T. Continuous. Henry steps off the raft, boots splashing in shallow water. The mist swirls thicker now. The city seems distant, silent. He looks back at the river. The lantern sways gently, reflecting red on the ripples. It feels alive, almost sentient, as though guiding him forward. Henry straightens, eyes burning with determination. The telegrams, the hidden messages, Mary's warnings, they all point to something bigger. He pulls his coat tighter and walks toward the street, the journal clutched against his chest. Henry, to himself, trying to find the truth, no matter the cost. Western Union office night. Henry pushes open the door, rain dripping from his coat. The office is empty, save for the faint hum of telegraph machines. Shadows stretch along the walls, curling like smoke. Beckett sits behind his desk, reading a faded ledger. His gray eyes lift slowly. A small, knowing smile tugs at his lips. Beckett, back so soon, Mr. Wells? Or did the river finally tell you where to look? Henry slams the bundle of papers, the journal, and the locket onto the desk. Henry, this, everything Mary left, the keys, the telegrams, the instructions, it's all here. I need answers. Beckett leans back, fingers steepled. Beckett, you want answers? Then you must understand the ledger. Every telegram, every line, every message is recorded there, even the ones that never reach the living. Henry grabs the ledger, fingers tracing rows of dates, names, and line numbers. His pulse quickens. One name stands out, Mary Elridge. Next to it, line 4B, status, active. Notes, observed. Henry, voice rising, active, she's dead. How can this be active? Beckett sighs, leaning forward. Beckett, death doesn't always end communication, Henry. Some people linger in ways you can't see. Some lines carry more than just words. Henry glances at the keys, then at the ledger. A realization flickers. Henry, then the telegrams, the messages. Mary was still here? Beckett nods slowly. Beckett, in a sense. Her knowledge, her warnings, they were encoded. The keys, the lines, even the river, they were part of it. She left a trail for the one who would listen. Henry's hands tremble. Henry, whispering, and someone wanted her silenced. Beckett's gaze darkens. Beckett, yes, someone powerful. Someone who knows the lines and knows how to manipulate them. Henry slams the ledger shut. Henry, I don't care who it is. I'll follow this trail. I'll find whoever tried to kill her, and whoever's behind all this. Beckett leans back, letting out a long breath. Beckett, be careful, Henry. Some messages should never be answered. A telegraph machine in the corner clicks suddenly. Henry freezes. A slip of paper emerges, one line typed and precise. Telegram text. You're next if you refuse to listen. Henry stares at it, the blood running cold. Outside, the city hums indifferently. Inside, the air grows heavy with secrets. Ixt, Lower East Side, night. Fog drifts between narrow alleyways. Henry's coat flaps in the wind as he walks briskly. Gas lamps flicker, casting uneven shadows on the brick walls. His grip tightens on Mary's journal. Henry, to himself, who would have the means? And the reason? He stops at a small, dilapidated building barely marked, just a faded brass plate reading, R.J. Blackwell, Private Investigator. Henry takes a deep breath and enters. I.N.T. Blackwell's office night. The room smells of tobacco and damp paper. A single lamp illuminates an office cluttered with case files, maps, and magnifying glasses. Behind a desk sits R.J. Blackwell, a man in his 40s, sharp-eyed, a scar along his cheek. He swivels slowly in his chair. Blackwell, Henry Wells. Not many people brave these streets after midnight. To what do I owe the pleasure? Henry sets Mary's journal on the desk. Henry, this. I need answers. Mary Elridge, do you know anything about her death? Or the telegram she sent? Blackwell leans back, steepling his fingers. Blackwell, Mary Elridge. I knew her name. I knew her family. But dead 6 months ago? That's news to me. Henry's heart hammers. Henry, I received a telegram. After she died. Typed on line 4B. Blackwell's eyes flicker. He leans forward, voice low. Blackwell, line 4B. That line hasn't been active in months. And yet you say someone sent a message? Henry, some people play with forces they don't understand, and some messages are meant to lure the curious. Henry presses on. Henry, do you know anyone who could have access to line 4B? Or someone who could manipulate a telegram after a person's death? Blackwell scratches his chin. Blackwell, there's a man. Beckett runs the Western Union lines quietly. Lives alone, obsesses over machines. Some say he's mad. Others say he's dangerous. I'd start there if I were you. Henry nods, scribbling notes. Henry, I already spoke to him. But there's more. Someone wants Mary gone. And now me. Blackwell stands, pulling a small revolver from his desk drawer. He taps it lightly. Blackwell, careful, Wells. In this city, ghosts aren't the only ones who can kill. Some are very much alive and watching. Henry swallows hard. Henry, I'm not backing down. A knock at the window startles both men. Henry turns. A shadowy figure disappears into the fog outside. Blackwell, quietly, you're getting closer. But the closer you get, the more dangerous it becomes. Henry grips the journal tighter. His jaw tightens. The hunt for Mary's truth and her killer has just entered its deadliest phase. Ixt, Lower East Side, night. Fog drifts between narrow alleyways. Henry's coat flaps in the wind as he walks briskly. Gas lamps flicker, casting uneven shadows on the brick walls. His grip tightens on Mary's journal. Henry, to himself, who would have the means? And the reason? He stops at a small, dilapidated building barely marked, just a faded brass plate reading, R.J. Blackwell, Private Investigator. Henry takes a deep breath and enters. I.N.T. Blackwell's office night. The room smells of tobacco and damp paper. A single lamp illuminates an office cluttered with case files, maps, and magnifying glasses. Behind a desk sits R.J. Blackwell, a man in his 40s, sharp-eyed, a scar along his cheek. He swivels slowly in his chair. Blackwell, Henry Wells. Not many people brave these streets after midnight. To what do I owe the pleasure? Henry sets Mary's journal on the desk. Henry, this. I need answers. Mary Elridge, do you know anything about her death? Or the telegram she sent? Blackwell leans back, steepling his fingers. Blackwell, Mary Elridge. I knew her name. I knew her family. But dead 6 months ago? That's news to me. Henry's heart hammers. Henry, I received a telegram. After she died. Typed on line 4B. Blackwell's eyes flicker. He leans forward, voice low. Blackwell, line 4B. That line hasn't been active in months. And yet you say someone sent a message? Henry, some people play with forces they don't understand. And some messages are meant to lure the curious. Henry presses on. Henry, do you know anyone who could have access to line 4B? Or someone who could manipulate a telegram after a person's death? Blackwell scratches his chin. Blackwell, there's a man. Beckett runs the Western Union lines quietly. Lives alone, obsesses over machines. Some say he's mad. Others say he's dangerous. I'd start there if I were you. Henry nods, scribbling notes. Henry, I already spoke to him. But there's more. Someone wants Mary gone. And now me. Blackwell stands, pulling a small revolver from his desk drawer. He taps it lightly. Blackwell, careful, Wells. In this city, ghosts aren't the only ones who can kill. Some are very much alive and watching. Henry swallows hard. Henry, I'm not backing down. A knock at the window startles both men. Henry turns. A shadowy figure disappears into the fog outside. Blackwell, quietly, you're getting closer. But the closer you get, the more dangerous it becomes. Henry grips the journal tighter. His jaw tightens. The hunt for Mary's truth and her killer has just entered its deadliest phase. Henry's room night. Henry spreads Mary's journal, telegram slips, and the ledger across the desk. A single lamp flickers above, casting long shadows across the floorboards. Rain drums steadily against the window pane, a haunting rhythm. He studies the entries, tracing dates and line numbers with a pencil. Each telegram she sent, each hidden key, each compartment all seem random, until he notices a pattern. Henry, whispering, coordinates, times, lines. It's a sequence. He scribbles Morse codes, numbers, and letters across a new sheet. The key from the pier fits perfectly with the pattern in the journal. He aligns the keys and discovers a simple substitution cipher embedded in the last telegrams. Henry, Mary, you clever fool. He deciphers a message from one of the old slips. Meet me where the river bends. Midnight. Bring the key. Henry's heart hammers. The river bends. It must mean the old pier near the warehouses. The same location where he found the hidden compartment. Ixt. East River. Midnight. Fog hugs the water, thick and oppressive. Henry arrives at the bend, lantern in hand. The river glimmers faintly under the moonlight. Every shadow seems alive, whispering secrets. He steps carefully onto the wooden planks. The hum of telegraph machines echoes from beneath the pier. The keys in his pocket vibrate faintly. A slip of paper emerges from the rusted telegraph box, damp but legible, greater than. Only one can finish what I started. Trust no one. Follow the keys. Henry bends, picking up the small brass key. He notices a faint groove in the wood beneath his feet, a keyhole carved into a plank. Heart pounding, he inserts the key. It fits perfectly. The compartment clicks open. Inside, a small brass telegraph machine, untouched, humming quietly. Attached, a stack of telegrams, Mary's final unsent messages, each one marked with a location, a time, and a warning. Henry studies them carefully. They reveal a hidden network of observers, men who track the telegraph lines, men who know when messages are sent and received. Mary had discovered them and tried to warn him. Henry, whispering, "Mary, you weren't just warning me. You were guiding me to them." A sudden splash interrupts him. Henry spins. A figure steps out of the mist, cloaked, motionless, watching. The first living enemy of Mary's chain. Someone who knew about line 4B, and someone who will stop at nothing to silence them both. Henry, voice hard, "I'm not afraid." The figure steps closer, vanishing into the fog. The telegraph clicks, once, then twice. The night feels alive, waiting for the next move. Ext, East River PIER night. Fog coils like a living thing. Henry grips the journal and brass key, lantern trembling in his hand. Every creak of the pier echoes like a drumbeat of warning. The figure from before emerges from the mist, tall, silent, their face obscured. Henry, steadying himself, "Who are you? What do you want?" The figure steps closer, the lantern casting their shadow long and distorted. A voice, low and deliberate. "Conspirator, you shouldn't have come here, Mr. Wells. Mary's messages, they were never meant for the living." Henry clenches the key tighter. "Henry, then I'll make them mean something. Tell me what you're hiding." The figure laughs softly, a sound that chills him to the bone. "Conspirator, hiding? Everything she left is in the open. If you know how to read it." Henry studies them. Tall coat, gloves, careful movements, someone trained. Someone who knows the telegraph lines. Beckett knew, but this is different. "Henry, you're one of them. One of the people who watched Mary, who sent the last telegram." The conspirator steps back, disappearing partially into the fog. "Conspirator, perhaps. Perhaps not. The line between life and death is thinner than you think. And some truths are meant to remain buried." Henry's mind races. He turns to the telegraph machine, humming quietly beside him. The machine clicks once. A slip of paper emerges, greater than. "Trust nitrogen monoxide 1. Find the second key." Henry swallows hard. Henry, under his breath, "Second key. Mary left more. I have to find it before they do." The fog thickens, curling around the pier like fingers. Henry scans the river. Every shadow feels like a threat, every ripple like a warning. "Henry, I won't let her warnings go unanswered. I won't let them win." The figure moves again, just at the edge of visibility. Watching, waiting, Henry steps forward, lantern high. The river hums. The telegraph clicks again. Time is running out. 14? East River Bank, night. The river mists curl like smoke over the water. Henry walks carefully along the worn planks, brass key in pocket, journal in hand. Every step echoes against the wooden pier, mingling with the soft hum of unseen telegraph machines. He kneels near a broken piling, consulting Mary's diagram. The map in her journal points here beneath the river's curve, a hidden compartment in the old timber. He kneels, hands searching the soaked wood, prying carefully. Henry, whispering, "Second key? Where are you?" His fingers catch a faint groove in the wood. He traces it and discovers a small brass keyhole, almost invisible beneath moss and grime. He pulls the first key from his pocket, Mary's key, and inserts it. It fits, but only partially. A muffled click echoes. A small drawer slides open, revealing a second brass key, smaller than the first, etched with a single R. Henry lifts it, all mingled with dread. Henry, so this is it. Mary left it for me for the next step. He studies the key, realizing its purpose. It's not for a lock in the physical world, but for one tied to line 4B. The telegraph machine on the pier hums as if alive. Henry steps closer, inserts the second key into the brass slot on the machine. The hum grows louder, vibrating through the planks. A slip of paper emerges, wet but readable. The network watches. Beckett knew, but he didn't act. Find the heart of the lines. The final truth awaits. Henry feels the weight of her words pressing down. The network. A series of watchers? Someone powerful, orchestrating events through telegraph lines. Mary had uncovered it and tried to warn him. Henry, voice low, the heart of the lines. I have to follow it. There's no turning back. From the mist, a movement catches his eye. A shadow detaches itself from the fog, watching. Henry stiffens. Henry, show yourself. No response. Only the river, restless and dark. The telegraph clicks again, faint, deliberate. Another slip emerges. The heart knows your arrival. Some will help, some will hurt. Henry tucks the second key into his coat. His eyes sweep the foggy riverbank. Every shadow feels alive, every ripple a threat. He grips the journal and the first key tightly, knowing he's now fully committed to Mary's path. Henry, I'll finish this. For her. For the truth. Thunder rolls across the city. The fog swirls around him, thickening, almost alive. The night waits, and the watchers, hidden in shadow, prepare for the next move. Int. Beckett's apartment night. Henry storms into the dimly lit room. Telegraph machines hum quietly, filling the silence with low clicks. Beckett sits behind his desk, eyes sharp as ever, calm amid the storm of Henry's entrance. Henry, voice trembling with urgency. Beckett. Enough games. Tell me everything about Mary. The network, the lines, line 4B. Who was after her? Beckett leans back, fingers steepled, expression unreadable. Beckett, you're braver than most, Henry, but bravery won't save you. Mary, she uncovered something she shouldn't have. Something buried deep in the city's veins, hidden in telegraph lines and secret records. Some wanted her gone. Some still want you gone. Henry slams his fist on the desk. Henry, I have the keys, the telegrams, her journal. I know she left me a path. Beckett's eyes flicker. Beckett, and you're following it. But the path is dangerous. The network is vast, organized, and ruthless. Mary tried to fight it alone and paid the price. Henry steps closer, voice low, piercing. Henry, I don't care. I'll follow the path. I'll uncover the truth. And I won't let her death be in vain. Beckett sighs, rubbing his temples. Beckett, very well. If you insist, Henry, I can guide you partially. But even I do not know the full extent. The heart of the lines is more than a place. It's a secret, a network, and a set of people who will stop at nothing. Henry grips Mary's journal tighter. Henry, then tell me everything you know. Names, locations, clues. I need it all to stop whoever did this. Beckett pauses, glances at the telegraph machines humming quietly. Beckett, there's one man, hidden in plain sight, who monitors all Line 4B activity. He controls the network from shadows. Mary discovered his identity, and it cost her life. His name is Roderick Crane. Henry feels his stomach twist. Henry, Crane, the network's heart. Beckett nods. Beckett, yes. If you intend to finish this, you must confront Crane. But beware. He has eyes everywhere. A telegraph machine clicks sharply, startling Henry. A slip emerges. Crane knows you're coming. Hurry, or it's too late. Henry swallows hard. Henry, whispering. Then I have no choice. I follow Mary's path, straight to Crane. Thunder rumbles outside. Rain lashes the windows. The room seems to close in, the hum of the machines echoing ominously. Henry knows the next steps will decide everything his life, the truth and the secrets Mary died to protect. Ixt, abandoned warehouse. Night. Fog rolls off the river, curling like smoke across cobblestones. Henry approaches an old warehouse at the edge of the pier district. Broken windows gape like empty eyes. The faint hum of telegraph lines vibrates through the walls. Henry, whispering to himself, Crane, the heart of the network. He pushes open the rusted doors. The hinges groan like a warning. Inside, shadows stretch endlessly. Crates, barrels, and old machinery form a maze. Every step Henry takes echoes against the metal walls. Warehouse. Night. In the center, a massive array of telegraph machines click and whir in unison. Cables snake across the floor, connecting to monitors and switches. A single figure sits at the center, a man tall, thin, with steel-gray eyes that pierce through the gloom. Roderick Crane. Crane turns slowly, a smile curling across his lips. Crane. Ah, Henry Wells, you finally arrived. Mary Elridge left quite the trail, didn't she? Henry steps forward, voice steady. Henry, yes, and now it ends. You're behind the telegrams, Mary's death. The entire network. Crane chuckles, leaning back in his chair. Crane, network? Perhaps. I merely maintain the lines. But Mary, she discovered too much. She tried to warn the living. And now, you... Henry's hand tightens around the brass keys. Henry, I'll finish what you started. Crane rises, moving with precise, predatory grace. Crane, bold. But the network isn't just machines, Mr. Wells. It's men. And they are loyal to me. Do you really think you can stop what Mary stumbled into? Henry glances at the array of machines, then at the cables running across the floor. Every line is a lifeline, every click a heartbeat of the conspiracy. Henry, I don't care how dangerous it is. I follow her path, and I will uncover the truth. Crane's eyes narrow. Crane, Very well. Then you will learn the true cost of curiosity. A telegraph clicks sharply. A slip of paper emerges, wet but legible. Some truths are painful. Some will not survive them. Are you ready, Henry? Henry swallows hard, gripping the keys tightly. Henry, I'm ready. Mary's path leads me here, and I will see it through. The hum of machines grows louder. The shadows stretch. The mastermind and the detective are finally face to face. Int. Crane's warehouse, night. The air is thick with the hum of telegraph machines. Cables snake across the floor, carrying secrets in clicks and flashes of light. Henry stands, tense, brass keys in hand. Crane watches him from his elevated platform, eyes sharp and cold. Crane, impressive, Henry. You followed the lines, decrypted her clues, and even survived the first warnings. Henry steps closer. Henry, stop hiding behind your machines. Tell me what you did to Mary, and why. Crane chuckles, a chilling sound that echoes across the warehouse. Crane, Mary was clever, far too clever. She discovered my network. She tried to warn the living, but she underestimated the power of the lines. I didn't kill her directly. The city did. Henry's eyes narrow. Henry, the city? You mean your operatives? Crane spreads his hands, almost theatrical. Crane, some truths are indirect. Mary learned too much, and she couldn't escape the watchers. I merely managed the outcome. Henry slams his fist on the railing. Henry, then I'll finish it. I'll stop you, and I'll uncover the full truth for her. Crane's smile widens, almost admiring. Crane, very well. But to reach the heart of the lines, you must understand its price. Mary's final message was not just a warning, it was a test. Henry studies the array of telegraphs and monitors. Each click, each line seems alive. He realizes the network is not just machines, it's a living system, guided by Crane's wheel. Henry, voice low, a test. Then I pass it or I fail trying. Crane steps down from his platform, slow, deliberate, shadow falling over Henry. Crane, you think the brass keys alone are enough? Mary left pieces for you, but she also left traps. Some messages are meant to mislead. Some people are meant to be sacrificed. Henry swallows hard, gripping the journal tightly. Henry, I'll risk it all. I'll follow every clue. I'll survive. A machine clicks violently. A paper emerges. The network is a web. Every step is watched. The final truth is closer than you think. Crane tilts his head. Crane, welcome to the heart, Henry. Now, prove yourself worthy. Thunder rolls outside. The hum of machines rises, almost like a heartbeat. Henry knows this night will decide everything. Part 18, Navigating the Network, Int. Crane's warehouse, night. The telegraph machines click in eerie unison. Red and green indicator lights flash like the heartbeat of the city. Henry steps cautiously between rows of machines, Mary's journal and the brass keys clutched tightly. Henry, whispering, every message, every click, A clue. She led me here for a reason. He stops at a monitor displaying encoded messages. Using the first key, he unlocks a hidden function, revealing a series of telegrams. Each one contains coordinates, names, and times, layered with a cipher Mary had devised. Henry deciphers them carefully. One by one, the hidden instructions form a path, a map of the network's nodes, and the people who operate them. Henry, so this is it. The skeleton of the network. The watchers, the lines, the heart of it all. A shadow moves among the machines. Henry spins just another operator, perhaps, or a trap. The telegraph clicks again. Greater than, follow the heart. Trust nitrogen monoxide 1. Henry realizes the network is both mechanical and human machines act as decoys, messages as misdirection, and operatives ready to strike anyone who probes too deep. The brass keys fit locks on several machines, revealing more telegrams, some warnings, some coordinates, some instructions. Henry, voice low, Mary, you really did think of everything. The network isn't just lines. It's alive. He moves deeper, guided by her notes, keys, and warnings. Each step takes him closer to Crane, closer to the truth, closer to the danger. A telegraph suddenly clicks violently. A slip emerges. The heart knows your arrival. Only the true inheritor of her wisdom can survive. Henry stops, reading the message over and over. He realizes Mary's path wasn't just about discovery, it was about preparation. The network would test him, challenge him, try to break him. Only by understanding Mary's intentions, following her keys, and decoding the heart could he survive. A faint red glow appears at the far end of the warehouse. Machines shift, revealing a small compartment with an intricate lock, a mechanism Mary had hidden. Henry kneels, inserting the second brass key. The compartment clicks open. Inside, a final set of telegrams, revealing the identity of the remaining watchers, the secrets of Line 4B, and the location of Crane's ultimate control panel. Henry's jaw tightens. Henry, this is it, the heart of the lines. Mary left me the path, and I'll finish it for her. The telegraph clicks one last time. Outside, thunder shakes the night. The network hums, alive and restless. Henry steps forward, ready to face Crane and the ultimate truth. Int. Crane's warehouse, night. Henry stands before the final control panel, a labyrinth of switches, levers, and telegraph machines, all connected in a complex web. Red lights blink, wires snake across the floor, humming with ominous energy. He holds Mary's journal and the brass keys tightly. Henry, whispering, Mary, this is the heart. Everything you warned me about. It's all here. Crane emerges from the shadows, a sinister silhouette. Crane, ah, Henry, you followed her path, deciphered her warnings, and now, at last, you stand at the heart. Do you understand what this means? Henry's eyes narrow. Henry, it means you can't hide anymore. Mary's path ends with the truth, and I'm taking it with me. Crane steps closer, hands behind his back. Crane, the network? It's a web of influence, money, and control. Mary threatened it, and now you threaten it as well. Do you really think you can unravel it without paying a price? Henry glances at the machines, their rhythmic clicks, almost like a pulse. He inserts both brass keys into the final locks. The machines respond, lights flaring in sequence, revealing hidden compartments containing telegrams, ledgers, and names of every operative. Henry, voice hard. The price is irrelevant. Mary trusted me to see this through, and I will. Crane's face tightens, a flicker of admiration in his eyes. Crane, clever, but even the heart has its traps. Suddenly, hidden mechanisms shift. A warning siren hums as doors slam shut around Henry. The warehouse seems alive, walls vibrating with the network's pulse. Traps both mechanical and human activate. Henry ducks, narrowly avoiding a swinging chain. Telegraph wires spark, sending messages into the night. Each step forward requires precision, knowledge, and the intuition Mary left behind. Henry, whispering, follow her path. Stay true, survive. Finally, he reaches the main console. He scans the final telegrams, deciphers the last codes, and identifies the key operatives, some loyal to Crane, some secretly aiding Mary. The web unravels before him. Henry, voice shaking but resolute. This is it. The heart of the network. Mary, I see it all now. Crane watches, tension in his posture. Crane, so the student surpasses the master. Very well, Henry. Prove your worth. Finish what Mary began. Thunder cracks outside, lightning illuminating the entire warehouse. The telegraph machines hum in harmony, the network's pulse echoing like a living creature. Henry takes a deep breath, knowing the final confrontation is at hand. Int. Crane's warehouse, night. Lightning flashes through broken windows, illuminating the maze of telegraph machines. Henry stands before Crane, brass keys in hand, Mary's journal open on the console. The network hums, alive as if holding its breath. Crane, so Henry, you followed the path, survived the tests, and reached the heart. Do you truly understand the price of knowledge? Henry steps forward, resolute. Henry, yes, Mary trusted me with the truth, and I will finish what she started. Crane smirks, circling him like a predator. Crane, you think uncovering names and messages ends this? The network is more than machines. It is influence, fear, and control. Henry studies the final telegrams, tracing the network's operatives and decoding their hidden messages. Every secret Crane tried to hide is now visible. The watchers, the false trails, the people who manipulated Mary's death. Henry, voice steady. The network may have tried to hide the truth, but the heart always reveals itself. And your reign ends tonight, Crane. Crane's eyes narrow. Crane, you will never leave here alive. Henry flips the final switch on the console. Machines spark, lights flare, and hidden compartments reveal evidence ledgers, telegrams, and confessions that expose Crane's network to the authorities waiting outside. Henry, quietly, to himself, Mary, it's done. Your warnings, your path. It all leads here. Crane lunges, but Henry uses the momentum of the trap mechanisms to disarm him. The warehouse doors slam open as policemen, guided by the information Henry decoded, storm in. Crane is captured, the network's web unraveling in real time. Henry stands among the telegraph machines, rain and lightning casting dramatic shadows across the room. He holds Mary's journal close. Henry, rest now, Mary. Your warnings were heard. And the truth survives. The telegraph machines click once more a final, silent message. The path is complete. The truth remains. Henry steps outside, rain soaking his coat. The city is quiet, almost reverent. The fog begins to lift, revealing the first glimmers of dawn. He looks at the river, remembering Mary's words, her sacrifices, her brilliance. Henry, whispering, "Your path wasn't just for the truth, it was for justice." The city awakens, unaware of the secrets that shaped its night. Henry walks away, journal and keys in hand, carrying Mary's legacy forward. The network lies defeated, the mastermind captured, and the mystery finally laid to rest.